Hello YouTube, how are you doing? So it is Miss Chronic Chronicles. I am stopping in to say hi. Things have been pretty wild around here, and I'm sure around where you're at too. Don't mind the construction stuff right there. Let me just fix this video real fast here. So, I'm on day 2 of the Great Shutdown for Colorado, statewide shutdown. I'll admit I've tried to make several vlogs and haven't gotten too far, so here we go. No idea how long this will last, and so it might be clipped off early and you'll just get that. I'm going to try to make videos every single day, just kind of sharing what I think in the most unedited version I can. I'm sure there will be some edits here and there, but if you got your coffee, let's have a little coffee talk. So, I'm going to be working on some videos for the WeedTube, which is another platform where it's more cannabis related. And when that content comes out, awesome. But in the meantime, I'm just trying really hard to put together some vlogs that I think are factual to the situation. As of right now, Colorado's on the 2nd day shutdown. And I would say about a week into all the information being given to us and us kind of getting to the point where we are at and schools being out and things like that. But we're on day 2. If you could say in any words, it started at 6 a.m. yesterday. We were notified on Wednesday that it was going to happen on Thursday. And there's so many things that I want to pack into this video, but I'm not going to do that. So again, if we have clips, if we have issues, just bear with it. This is a vlog. It's not perfection. Again, I never try to claim to be so. So, I'm working on a podcast too. I haven't been feeling well. The last time I released a video was just the intro to this entire series of vlogs related to the quarantine, and I had said that my eye was hurting and I had went to the doctor. I did go to the doctor, and I didn't just have, I thought, pink eye, I thought it was. I had strep throat. So technically I'm on antibiotics right now. For the last 2 days I've been on antibiotics. And just trying to kind of keep my mind at a balanced level. My body, keeping things chill. Conserving my medicine as the situation is very dire. We do have Colorado quarantine that does include essential items like grocery stores, post offices, police department, fire department, and also essential, non-essential, but essential businesses, including like liquor stores and utility offices. Some of them are all like reachable by phone, but to walk into a place, our town still allows dispensaries, and most of Colorado are allowing dispensaries recreational. We consider it a medical necessity for some and an essential for most of our population and our economy. So I am really happy to see that, but interestingly enough, oil industry is slowly closing down here, and that's pretty frustrating because it is financial. It does bring a lot of income to our state. It's not just cannabis, that brings revenue to our state. But early learning and like Head Start, kindergarten, things like that, preschool, they are setting up programs in our area to finally get kids onto an online system. So hopefully very soon my son will be back up and running in his classes. Right now, we are doing what most parents are doing across the United States and just trying to keep them busy and unaware of the situation because it's frustrating. As parents, we don't know really what to tell our kids right now. And as people, we don't even know what to expect right now. And again, my health being compromised and then it having the add-on just regular influenza almost a month ago. My son had strep and flu almost a month ago. So this whole new epidemic of health problems in our country and world is pretty scary. So I do think that just to share a bit of what I'm going through and hopefully to connect with a lot of you subscribers and new viewers and new followers, tell me how you're doing in the comments because I really do want to know how all you guys are doing out there. I'm trying to kind of work. My stomach is growling so bad. I'm sorry. I'm trying really hard to keep a good morale with the situation and not get too afraid when it comes to not knowing what's going to happen next. Financially, things are okay. Um, Socially, things are okay. I've got some friends that are helping, dropping off medicine, dropping off supplies as needed, laundry soap, that kind of stuff. And then I also got a hold of my son's school to try to make sure that any other essentials that we could get our hands on, that maybe the community was going to be running out of, but if I were to let the school know that, hey, I'm a single mom, just trying to make sure that my son has the right um, connections, if it's not the teacher, if it's not a food distribution system that maybe we could get on. I don't know. So luckily I did find some resources local, and we have no idea how long all of these services will continue to be offered to all of us. But we, again, our community, my little society here, are hunkering down the best we can. I went to the grocery store the other day with a mask on for my son and myself, the N95 masks, which are the best masks you could have right now. A friend of mine works in the oil industry and had a few of them a couple of months ago, and I'd planned to start doing construction in my house, so that's how it all came about, that I already had my hands on some masks. But I went to the grocery store, and I was really surprised because people were actually talking under their breath saying, wow, unless that person and their child has corona, why are they wearing a mask? Because we don't know what people are, if you're in the biological gestational period and you're sick with corona and don't even know it yourself. I have a 4-year-old. I have a compromised immune system. I am dealing with my own shitstorm on a normal day. So this new shitstorm isn't worth trying to have, in so many words, be my concern. I want others as well to take this seriously. I'm close enough to a county that has quite a bit of cases in Colorado. And then I found out through the grapevine, friends who know friends, who know friends, who know doctors, local, that the news was reporting only 2 cases, but there was a total of 29 in our area of COVID. So that's pretty serious in regards to the whole situation. So again, I don't think the news reports are being completely transparent, and you can say in one hand that it might be they don't have all the information, or you can say on another hand they're just more concerned about not freaking out the people. So where I live is rural, but we do have some access to some services, if you will. I have a friend in Montana right now who doesn't even have a police department in her town, just a post office, no grocery store, no delis, no restaurants. Well, I think there is a restaurant. There are bars, but there's no liquor store. It's like 3 hours. She's in Yellowstone National Park in their subsidiary area. It's like a little tiny town in the park, at the beginning of the park. So they're shut down, and they're already very well planned out for even a bad snowstorm. So they have plenty of food. As Coloradians, most of us do that too, because we think ahead. But people in California who are on shutdown, and the numbers are climbing when it comes to how many people are sick. I'm awfully grateful that I don't live there right now, because I would have been in probably one of the worst hot spots. Even the way that my building was set up, just way too close for comfort. I'm glad I'm not raising my son in Los Angeles, I'll admit that. Now, I have a lot of friends in Southern California and a few friends in Northern California, and so it is a little concerning to know that they are literally just hunkering down with the possibilities of who knows what. Now, initially, there was lots of reports, and, do your own research. Don't take all of my words for everything. Please go do your own research for your own situation. But for my own connections and family and whatnot, I'm originally from Louisiana. Thus, I have quite a bit of family and friends in Louisiana right now who I'm very worried about. Not to lie. I'm concerned because their capacity and their budget and their stubbornness has got them in this position, and meaning the amount of cases have just blown up because people didn't take it seriously. And so for that being said, I'm not sure if in 6 months I'll have the same friends and family alive. And that concerns me because I care about the welfare safety of the health and my family and friends. But there's not a whole lot I personally can do other than quietly pray for all these people and quietly hope for all these people that they're doing better. But the circumstances don't look great. And even if New York City, who's a big mecca of the economy, and California is getting so many cases, this isn't 100% financial based. This is just literally circumstantial and accommodating. So there are a lot of people in the southern states that didn't believe that this was real. There are people in California who didn't believe this is real. Even myself didn't believe this was real at the beginning. But I believe it's very real, and I do think if the economy is throwing money at the problem, which it is, our government is now is planning to do stimulus packages for most of Americans. That says a lot. And if the conversation is continuing to say, that this could very well be months and months and months, not just 2 weeks, as some people are saying, which is nice thoughts, but that is irresponsible on so many levels. So if they're actually implementing new processes to encourage people to not depend on the bigger box stores as you would, okay, the brick and mortar stores, if we're looking at technology and delivery services and things like that, and that is such a transition to do for a so-called 2-week period. I don't believe so. I'm sorry. I just don't. So I do think that a lot of people who have been self-reflective and self-sustainable for a while will be just fine during this period. Now, the people who are socially inapt, my stomach won't stop, socially inapt to handle things financially, physically, or mentally in these circumstances will struggle more. And I do think we should all depend on new ways to accommodate that. If that means, you're a codependent person and you need your family, but you're not allowed to be around them because maybe they're older, elderly, or sick, reach out to the friends you haven't reached out to for a hot minute. And if you're worried about money, well, there will be new programs and systems for many of us who don't have the social or economic backbone. Now, if you're a homeless person and you're dealing with these circumstances, I also believe there will be no new programs, but I do not have a whole lot of faith that this entire circumstance will be just cradled and hugged by our government. I do think a lot of the money thrown at us right now and the media, what they're told and sharing, have a lot to do with keeping the peace, if you will. So I don't know how else to say that I think it's a very sad situation when our government takes in account that alcohol and other medications. See, this is the thing. Let me sideline to this. If alcohol and cannabis are important, but people who have breast cancer and other cancers they might be fighting right now are not important, what happened to traveling nurses and coming up with a traveling schedule to help people who need their medications to survive this circumstance? It's not the small people that are being rejected, it's the large mainstream media people dealing with breast cancer and other things. And, I'll put some articles below and list everything that I speak about in here, that I think that there's resources that you guys who are watching should check out. I'll link below and put a good information. But where we stand in Colorado, at least in western rural Colorado, the mountain area, rural towns that I live in, okay, and many of my close friends live in, we're all quite aware that we're probably going to be on the shit end of the stick. But if this is taken seriously by our government and our state, capacity for coronavirus testing might actually be pushed up, for our state at least, to take in the rural counties that are isolated or uneducated or don't have the resources to even be told, besides by word of mouth. Because a lot of people out here have been believing the end of the world was coming, either religious or extremist views, whatever you want to say. That does change the dynamic of how seriously we take it out here. Either they believe the end of the world's coming, and the religious beliefs believe that God's coming back, Jesus is coming back right now. It's the rapture, or the beginnings of the end of days, let's say, okay? And whether that's true or not, whether that's fact or fiction, okay, doesn't matter in this moment. It's how do we socially interact with other people? How do we take our information being told to us, and what do we do next? We're only accountable for ourselves. Everybody else is accountable for their own actions. We can't control others. That's government's job and always has been. When it comes to each of us interacting with one another, I do think we hold a lot of responsibility right now to not only teach our kids to understand that, how do I put this? Because I had a conversation with my son's teacher the other day, and I really do feel strongly about this. It is more than ever our responsibility as parents. If you are at home with your child, you have zero excuses, zero excuses, cheers, for not spending more time with your child and instilling new creative ways to teach your kids. Yes, you parent, you right there. Doesn't matter what your education level is. If you are looking at an orange, then what you say, what is this, my child? A fruit. What color is it, my child? Orange. How big is it? How heavy do you think this is? Like, talk to your children. Use new tools in your own